everyone, and welcome back to the vlog. We're on our way to Glen Shiel, a small campsite that's down by, I don't know whether it's in the Kyle of Lochhouse or just by it, but which is really pretty much the main route as if you were heading to Skye and going over the bridge. But it's great to be back out in the Splitty camper. It's been a little while since we've been able to get away. And the weather's absolutely beautiful. It's a little bit of cloud, sun's just breaking through. The hills around look absolutely stunning. So hoping to find a sort of couple of places to stop along the way before getting to the campsite. But fingers crossed we're going to have a couple of days of nice weather and just enjoy being out. We've been to the campsite at Glen Shiel a few times, and it's a lovely little spot for getting up into the hills, nice and quiet, and yeah, so not too far to go, and looking forward to getting there and getting a chance to chill out a bit. If you watched the last episode of the vlog, you'll know that I've been struggling with motivation to get up early in the morning and to get out with the camera. Although once I was outdoors, it was great, and I soon found that enthusiasm again. But it's so different when you're going away for a few days. You really do sort of feel invigorated and inspired to get out, and being able to submerge yourself into the sort of landscape, just sort of away from everything for a good amount of time, always makes you feel really good. So it's great being out, and especially on a nice day like this when the sun is shining. Being out in the camper van always has a real sort of good feel to it. It's nice as well because lots of people wave when you're driving past in this old machine. I think it sort of puts a few smiles on a few faces, which is really nice. So we're about 3 miles from the campsite now, so not far to go, and of course it's just started raining just as we're about to get there, which is always the way, but it's been an absolutely spectacular drive down through here. The light's beautiful, so hopefully a good couple of days of nice weather, get some good photographs, and enjoy being in this part of Scotland. So I've decided to cook outside tonight. It's going to be fish wraps, salmon wraps, and there's nothing. We haven't got the cookers in the actual van itself, but there's nothing worse than going to bed after having cooked salmon or fish in the camper van. So I'm going to cook outside tonight. This is my makeshift little windbreak because it's actually quite breezy, but that's not a bad thing because the midge in these hills can be pretty bad when the wind drops. So should be good. And is it me, or does everything always taste that much better when you're in the outdoors camping? I don't think it matters what you're eating, everything seems to go down well. But let me know what you think. Do you have that same thing where you're out and about, and if you're out camping and in the hills, that you're quite happily open a can of beans, warm them up, and just be as happy as you would sat in a restaurant? But maybe that's just me, crazy. Anyway, gonna cook up some salmon, but what a view to be looking at. Just incredible. I'm cheating on the peppers, sliced peppers, straight out of the freezer, nice and easy. Starting to feel more like a cooking channel, but I do like the way when you're at a campsite and you're cooking onions, when people walk past and they're sort of looking at you as if they're sort of desperate to see what you're cooking. Best part of the day. So I think presentation, maybe 1 out of 10. Taste, 10 out of 10. Chances of doing a cooking channel, zilch. Anyway, what a great way to end the evening. And well, start again in the morning. See you then. So not a bad start to the morning, fairly decent night's sleep, although I think I definitely got more sleep than Corin did. She's looking very tired behind the camera there, but it's a beautiful morning. Up a little bit later than probably we wanted to be, but that's often the way when you're traveling about. But there is a nice little bit of cloud in the sky, which is leaving some nice sort of breaks of light in the hills. We're heading up into the mountains behind the campsite just to really see what we can find. There's some beautiful pines scattered about. We got some waterfalls, and yeah, stunning day. I will say though, not a drop of wind, so the midge are feasting like mad this morning. So hopefully, maybe when we get up in the hills, there'll be a bit more breeze. Got a feeling it'll be more sheltered, but anyway, let's head up, see what we can find. As we left the campsite this morning, people were loading up their lightweight bags, heading up into the mountains. As we were putting on all the camera gear and the tripods, and then I remembered the drone. I was thinking, oh, crikey, I'm glad I'm not doing some of the walks that they're doing, but hopefully we'll still get up far enough into the hills. Well, this isn't a bad start. I've only just left the campsite. We're probably only sort of a few hundred yards away from the camper van, and wow, this is just absolutely beautiful. I've heard, there must have been a fair amount of rainfall through the night, and the water coming down through here is absolutely beautiful. But if you look at the scene behind me, absolutely stunning. We've got the water coming down through the trees. We've got this sort of rock position behind. I can just see, if I duck down, I can just see another falls. So I'm going to set up the camera, get the first shot of the morning. Not a bad start. What I really love about this image is that greenery that is draping over the falls. We've got sort of like a pine with some pine needles on my left, and then we've got sort of, I think it might be a birch on my right, but the way that the canopy of leaves are coming over the water is really beautiful, and you're getting a sort of green tint coming off of the water. Let me show you on the back of the camera. So you can see you've got this pine on my left here that's just coming over the falls, and then to my right we've got the birch and the leaves, and the light's just catching those leaves. And then if you look further up into the falls, we've got that sort of water coming down and around with the light catching it, and then there's another smaller falls right up in the distance. So I'm hoping to capture some of that as well. I can't really get any closer. That main rock at the front there, it makes a nice feature with the water splashing around it. It's beautiful. I'm trying to sort of shoot at around about a 1/5 of a second just to sort of get all of that detail. I've shot a lot of waterfalls recently, so I was hoping to be sort of more in the hills, but not going to miss an opportunity. So I'm shooting on my 24 to 70mm lens, and yeah, what an amazing start. And as I say, I only just left the campsite and already we're getting some great shots. So anyway, I'll take this shot now, and here's the image. So I've been here a little while and there's some lovely little interesting features that are scattered about. And I'm really definitely fortunate that there's some good cloud cover. Although I have to say it's a little bit bright for the reflections off the water. I've been flying the drone up and down a little while and just capturing some nice little scenes. But really it's a beautiful little area just off of the path here that is easy to get to. So anyway, I think next step is to head up into the hills, follow the path up, and hopefully find some nice sort of trees and things along the way. Hopefully the cloud will just keep coming backwards and forwards just so we get those nice breaks of light. And yeah, I mean, it's only, well, I don't know, it's only sort of 10 to 9 in the morning now, and so plenty of the day left. Get the bag on, let's get going. So I've just worked my way up the hill here, the path's just down there, but what I wanted to do was get a sort of a higher viewpoint for catching this epic scene that's just in front of me here. You can see that there's a little bit of rain coming through the mountains, and I don't know if you can see on the film camera there, but you can just make out the path that leads through into the hills there that we're going to be following. But that light coming through is just absolutely breathtaking. We've had some real sort of glimpses of sunshine on there, but I think at the moment with the mist, the rain and that sort of light, it's given those mountains a real ethereal sort of feel to them, which is absolutely beautiful. Look at the light just catching the side. I'm just going to capture that now, that light catching the side of the mountains there. Absolutely beautiful. Just coming up the left hand side, you've got the pines and those patches of different greens that are just coming through. Some of them are really vibrant, and then some of them are darker, just giving that real sort of foreboding look. And whenever I look at a scene like this, it always makes me want to get going and get off into the hills. So anyway, what I'm going to have to do, I've included these rocks here just as a little bit of foreground interest, just on my left-hand side. Let me just get into the scene a bit. So we've got these beautiful rocks just here on my right-hand side that I'm including in the image. And then if you look behind me, you can just see that path that's leading into the mountains. And then we've got that right-hand side just catching the light coming through the hills there. And as I say, it's that different shades of green. We've got the real bright, vibrant greens popping off, and then the darker, foreboding greens. And then we've got that mist and the rain coming through the mountains. And look at that, just as the way that light's coming through there now. Beautiful. Back to the camera, let's get the shot. Now I'm having to bracket for this shot just so that I can get those rocks nice and sharp in the foreground. They're way too close. I'm shooting on my 24-70 lens, so what I'm going to do, what I've done is taken one shot of the rocks. The light's not changing on my foreground interest, it's only the background interest. So I only need one nice, crisp, sharp shot in the bag. Now I can focus on those mountains behind, waiting for that light just to crack through. You can see the rain coming through the hills there. It's obviously going that way and just missing us, but what a place to be. There's a nice bit of breeze, so we're able to cool down a little bit after wheezing up the hills. And oh, this is absolutely stunning. It's always makes you feel good to be out in the mountains. So it didn't matter this morning how determined I was not to sort of spend the day taking photographs of waterfalls. When they're there, you just got to take them. You'll see from that last shot that we've just shown that there was another waterfall. It's funny because I actually remember that location. I've come across that bridge before last time and not managed to get a shot, and hopefully this time I'll be able to get in a better position. There was a lot more water coming down, which was really nice. So anyway, going to keep following along the path that heads on into the mountains, stop down towards the waterfall that's at the back there. Corin did mention something about some nice little cafe down there, but I'm really beginning to doubt that. I've just got that feeling. So anyway, we've got some pork pies, cheese and ham rolls. It's going to be a great place to stop and have a bit of lunch. Let's keep going. So it's definitely not a bad place to stop. Oh, get the bag off the back, have a bit of lunch, and just get off the track for a little while. But just take a look at the view. So really nice, just sat down having lunch. It was really peaceful spot, but boy is it hard getting going again once you've stopped and had something to eat. So anyway, turned around now, heading back, and just been watching the light catching the hills behind. You can probably see there that it's just dancing over the peaks. And I've been looking around for a little bit of foreground interest, and I saw these rocks here which are just sort of nicely positioned. There's some beautiful small white little flowers and some grasses. And I'm just thinking, I really like the way that that bit of the hill comes down and across. And then we've got these almost two layers of mountains behind that are sort of really dark and in the shadows. And then with the light cascading on the hill. So I'm thinking foreground rocks, grasses, with that in the background. It might be that this is too small. I might have to get quite close to really sort of feel my foreground interest, but yeah, it should make for a nice scene. So I'm going to set up and I'll show you what I'm looking at in the back of the camera. So you can see on the camera here that I've positioned the rocks just in my foreground. We've got the lovely grasses coming up. I don't know how clear it's going to be, but we've got these beautiful small white flowers that are just dotted in amongst the rocks. Just gives it that little splash of colour. And then you can see that light kicking off behind in the hills, touching the peaks there. Now, I must prefer this. I don't want light in my foreground interest, because what will happen is that will just catch the eye too much. And if you look at the image, all you'll see is those rocks in front there. But by having that beautiful light captured at the back, your eye's going to be dragged in through the image, looking off into the mountains, wondering what's behind there and what goes on after the next mountain and the next mountain. It really draws the eye through the scene. So you can see there, we've got that beautiful patch of light just coming down through. It's quite nice because the clouds are quite dark and quite sort of low. So it's giving it that real sort of, I don't know, dark, sinister sort of feel to it with a splash of light on the hills. I don't know if that's a good description, but we'll go with that. Anyway, I'm going to wait a little while just to see how that light changes, and then I'm going to take the shot, and well, here's the image.
So that's it, made it back to the camper van, cold drink, totally exhausted, but what an absolute epic day. It's been absolutely stunning up in the hills, but I am looking forward now to spending the evening relaxing, maybe a couple of burgers, and just chill out for the rest of the evening. But thank you so much for watching the vlog. Hope you enjoyed it. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.